Hey guys, happy Thursday. All right, this is our last thing that we're going to be learning about for history. Now, next week we're going to be talking about a project that you guys are going to be doing, and then that will be concluding our long ago unit. All right, so yesterday we talked about the inventions. Today we're going to be talking about one last thing, and that is something called the Trail of Tears. And we're just going to kind of talk a little bit about it, and there's a video for you guys to watch, but we're not going to go into huge detail about it because you guys are going to learn about that in 3rd and 4th grade. And I don't want to give away all the facts so that you don't have anything to learn about then, okay? All right, I'm going to share my screen with you. So, the Trail of Tears. See here, there's a video for you guys to watch when you guys do this in your own Google slide. So I'm going to read it to you. The Trail of Tears. Eventually, the U.S. government forced the Cherokee Nation and other tribes to move from their homeland to an Indian territory in Oklahoma. So you guys, Native Americans, also known as Indians to some of us, had to leave their homes when all of this westward expansion was happening. So that means that when people were doing the Oregon Trail and all of that, Indians were pushed out of their homes. How mean was that? Many tribes were marched at gunpoint to special areas called reservations. They forced them. The Indians had no choice. This march became known as the Trail of Tears. In 1830, Congress passed the Indian Removal Act. It took several years for all the tribes to be moved into one place. Many Native Americans agreed to move because they felt like they had no choice. Others were angry and refused to move. But the U.S. military had more men and weapons, so the tribes knew they were outnumbered and eventually gave in. Even though they were promised a specific area to settle in Oklahoma, much of that land was taken from them too. More than 17,000 Native Americans moved from their homes, and nearly 3,000 died along the trail, walking to Oklahoma, you guys. How do you think, the question here for you guys to answer, how do you think the Native Americans felt about moving away from their native lands? Do you think that they were happy? Were they mad? Were they irritated? Why? Why do you think that? Remember the video to watch as well. Concluding this next slide, after the United States purchased Louisiana Territory from the French, many people decided to travel west, and this connects us to Lewis and Clark. Lewis and Clark explored the land all the way out to the Pacific Ocean. They were able to map out a route for others who wished to settle in this new land. Families packed up only their most important belongings and traveled westward in a large covered wagon on the Oregon Trail, like we know, right? All of these people are moving west. Along the way, they had encounters with Native Americans. The U.S. government started relocating or moving Native Americans off their native lands so the white settlers could move there. So your question here, why did the U.S. government want Native Americans to move to reservations? How come they made the Native Americans move? If we go back here, we might be able to find that. The U.S. government started relocating or moving Native Americans off their native land so that white settlers could move there. Basically, so white people could move in. And that's not fair, is it? Now, the U.S. government,